Hello everyone and welcome back to another clay sculpture video. In this one we're gonna make Twisted Chica, which appears nowhere in any of the Five Nights at Freddy's content other than merchandise. For this sculpture I based it all off the Funko Pop that they released on this. This is actually the second version of the Funko Pop. There was another one that you could see on the Twisted Freddy box that they eventually scrapped. And I think I'm the only one to have created this sculpture on YouTube, or at least this version of Twisted Chica. So yeah, this is a fan-made sculpture, but it's the first on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. We're starting with the frame, and it's all based on aluminum foil, and same as my Twisted Foxy that I showed before, this sculpture will be rising from the ground because that's what happens in the book. All the Twisted animatronics rise from the ground at night to go hunt like spooky zombies. So I wanted the stance for this to be different, so that's why you see the metal wire that's sticking out. That's later gonna be an arm sticking out and reaching out. For the mouth, unlike Twisted Foxy, Twisted Chica only has one row of teeth, so it was much easier to do than before. This was not in the original source material. I wanted to give Twisted Chica a tongue. I don't know why, but I just thought it'd look cool, so I gave her a tongue and only one row, only one set of teeth. So, admittedly, the hardest part to make was the head itself, and I could not get the right shape that I wanted for the head, so I just settled on a sort of demented look for the head to give it more of that twisted feel, even though it originally wasn't supposed to be this distorted. But after adding the details, you couldn't really tell that it was distorted. Now for the details, Twisted Chica has a lot of cracks inside her, and you can see my source material on the side. I actually bought the Funko Pop. I bought all the twisted ones. And so for her aesthetic, I guess you could say, she has a lot of black cracks in her head, and instead of having warts like Twisted Foxy, she has blisters and giant like circles sticking out. Now for the entire reason that I wanted to do this sculpture is that Twisted Chica has a completely unique element of design to her that no other animatronic has had so far, and it's that her cupcake is actually melded inside her body, and I thought that was it was a really cool design choice, and that was the main reason I wanted to do this sculpture, just because it fit it fit my aesthetic of how I make my sculptures, and I just thought I would have a lot of fun making it, which I really did. Now there's a second smaller head, and this one's yellow, and I did not add as many details to this one as the other one because it was smaller and you couldn't really see it as well. So for the chest, Twisted Chica has a mouth inside her chest similar to Nightmare Fredbear, but at the same time she also has a ripped up bib that says "Let's Play," and it was awkward for me to add it at the point where I did, so I scrapped the idea. Now for the last part, the hand. This hand turned out to be a lot bigger than I wanted it to because I didn't proportion it right, but I still think it looks nice. I want all my twisted sculptures to have a unique pose, and so for the first one, both of his hands were reaching from the ground. In this one of the hands is reaching from outside the ground. And for my next one, well, I shouldn't say because that'll be a surprise. now, just like I make all my other grounds, I wanted to make this contrast the main color scheme of the sculpture, and so that would be yellow and orange, and to contrast that I wanted a dark bluish purple for the ground, and so I'm just detailing it and texturing it the same way I did all of my other sculptures. So that was Twisted Chica. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm the first person to make this type of Twisted Chica on YouTube, so that's pretty exciting. And also, this was the only sculpture that took me only 1 day to make. So yeah, this I made all in 1 day, probably approximately 3 hours in total.